Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video in which we will look at powers of products and powers of fractions. So let's start with powers of products. Remember, a product is just two things multiplied together. So 4 times 5 is a product. We're going to look at what happens when we raise that to a power. So let's say I raise it to the power of 3. Remember, raising to the power of 3 just means you multiply the thing by itself 3 times. So we've got 1 times by itself, twice it's been times by itself, and then 3 times it's been times by itself. That took a lot of effort to write. Surely there's an easier way we can write this. Well, we have 4 times 4 times 4. Remember, the order in which you multiply doesn't matter. So I can do all the 4s first. That's 4 to the power of 3. Then I can do all the 5s. So you can see there was a quicker way to go from here straight to the answer without writing in expanded form. All I did was raise the first thing in the product to the power, raise the second thing in the product to the power. What about the product of a fraction? Let's say instead of 4 times 5 to the power of 3, I have 4 divided by 5 to the power of 3. Well, once again, raising to the power of 3 means multiplying something by itself 3 times. But instead of writing it out in expanded form, which takes a while, I can just go 4 times 4 times 4, which is 4 to the power of 3, and on the bottom is 5 times 5 to the power of 3. So these are the fifth and sixth index laws you need to know. The fifth index law says if you have a product, remember AB means A times B, then you raise it to a power, just raise the first thing to the power and the second thing to the power. Our sixth index law says if you have a fraction and you raise it to a power, just raise the top to that power and raise the bottom to that power. All right, let's now look at some harder examples. So here we have a product to a power because it's 3 times x squared times y to the power of 4. Remember, if no operation is written in algebra, it means time. So what the power of a product index law is saying, we take the first thing in the product and raise it to the power outside the brackets. Then we have to take the next thing in the product and raise it to that power. Basically what we're doing is we're taking each thing in the product and raising it to the power individually. So 3 to the power of 3 is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. X squared to the power of 3. Well, we need another index law for that. Luckily, we learned that when you raise a power to another power, you keep the same base and multiply the powers together. Here again, power to another power, you keep the same base and multiply the powers. And this is our final answer. Let's say I have something like 2z to the power of 5 over 5w squared, and I want to raise that to the power of 4. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to raise the top thing to the power and the bottom thing to that power. That's exactly what the power of a fraction index law says. So let's start with raising the top to the power. So I'm going to take 2z to the power of 5, raise it to the power of 4. So on top, 2 to the power of 4, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. Z to the power of 5 to the power of 4. Power to a power, you keep the same base and multiply together the powers. I'm going to do the same to the bottom. I'm going to take the denominator, what's on the bottom, and raise it to a power. So I go 5 to the power of 4. So 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 is 625. W squared to the power of 4. I am raising a power to a power. So I keep the same base and I multiply together the powers. How easy is that? All right, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.